For decades, travelers and explorers have passed through New York Harbor in search of fortune as the New World welcomed immigrants from around the world. Today, it is one of the busiest harbors in the United States and now hosts the final day of the Mubadala New York Sail Grand Prix.
Here, I like where the Kiwis are, but is there going to be a gap? I don't see a gap for New Zealand. Here we go, timing crucial. Watch for the line to turn red. It's going to be France at the top of the line, United States at the bottom. Who's called it right? Great start by Rottwell, Denmark. Oh, Lady Liberty's got a look at the Brits on the inside there, and Emirates Great Britain controlled the inside. Great boat speed from the British there. They turn away at Mark 1 first. They will control things. I expect the wind to start getting light ahead of them. Oh, United States, they missed the jibe. Big mistake by United States. They're off the foils. That's going to be so costly.
I will. My rate.
All right, ready for board down to you?
Gate 2, Australia on the inside. They've got the right of way here over Denmark. Denmark need to keep clear at the bottom of the course. Oh, if he can sail him off here, Denmark, if he can stay out that yellow circle, it's going to be so tight. Almost match racing manoeuvre here. Australia should have rights to turn on the inside. Will Rottwell split?
Go the other gate. Go the other gate. You go on the other one?
Sorry, the US.
Race number 1 will go the way of Emirates GBR as they approach the finish line. The USA in 10th place. They should not factor in this at all. And we will take a bow and hand the first win to Giles Scott and Emirates GBR as they get the win in New York City. And we got a nice little battle here. Canada and Australia getting together.
Canada had the right of way, but as soon as they leave that mark, Canada have got to keep clear of Australia now.
So it's Denmark that holds on for second place here in race number 1. And Tom Slingsby, the defending champion in the series, he will take third with Canada grabbing fourth.
New Zealand are foiling at the bottom of the line, Australia at the top of the line, and Switzerland hoping for a gap. How's your timing in the middle of the line here? Phil Robertson, he turns the boat down on board Canada, but it's a little too late, and it's going to be Switzerland with the perfect start through the middle. They should lead the fleet to Mark 1, and the Roos are going to come flying in from the top. New Zealand, they're in the middle of the pack, but it's not a great start for them again this time.
France completely off the foils up there. Kiwis as well, and the Canadians.
That is going to turn into a massive lead for Switzerland. It's got so light under the fans on the shore in Governor's Island.
Boy, they are really high. Look at that.
Yeah. Andy Maloney not shy to push it. As Liv Mackay runs into the middle. They're looking out. The trouble when the boat's... Oh my, have a look at this. Looks like a great call for the Kiwis at the moment. That could be a deceiving camera angle, but right now,
they're gonna pass
it looks to me like the Burling Took team has found the breeze, and the Wind Whisperer, he's lost the lead here. He's having to sail nearly parallel to that course there at the moment. He's making no progress down the course. He's off the foils. Kiwis are on the foils, sailing towards more wind. Looks good for them. Tell you what, Todd, there's a lot of pressure on this manoeuvre. That almost looks a bit rushed. They're off the foils. Switzerland's in breeze. I like where the Swiss are at the moment. He should be able to stick this manoeuvre on board here. Pressure's on. How does he do? Oh, what a perfect time to go to our T-Mobile 5G camera. Does it stay put? Yeah, they're back on the foils. Swiss are going to do it from here.
What a race here in race number 2. It was shortened, but no matter. Nathan Outridge and the Swiss will claim the win in race two here in New York City.
That is going up.
So Switzerland got a 6th in race number 1. They get a 1st place in race number 2. Canada a 4th and a 2nd.
It's all about hitting the line when it turns wide at speed. France could have timed this perfect. They're coming through on the slingshot. The French look good. Oh, what a blanket start.
Early start penalty, USA and Australia.
Oh, they need to drop to the back of the fleet, and with just a 4-race series to get to the final, pressure on Australia. Oh, the French are going to be able to hold on the inside there, and it's no distance to the first turn. New Zealand are on the inside. Expect them to split first. They'll be the first boat back out into clear wind, and it's all about the execution of the manoeuvre. Brilliant foiling jibe by the French.
It is the French, it is the British, it is the Kiwis out in front with Phil Robertson, currently the Canadians' overall leaders after 2 races.
France lead, and they're well set up from here. Well positioned by Emirates Great Britain. They're going to lead round here. Big lead. Australia have got a penalty for going outside a boundary, I think. We might find out about that. It was a bit off our screen. But for France, for Great Britain and for Canada, they're well set. New Zealand are going to split the course again here. Should be able to find space with a right turn at the top. But it's been a great upwind leg for Giles Scott. Here we go. We come on board the Australians. Oh, look at that. They get way high on the foil. Big crash down there. Canada, they're up to second. They're on the charge, but France have got the right of way. Who's going to call the bluff here? Will Canada try and cross? It's so tight.
No way Phil Robertson's backing down. No way.
Oh, Contan hunted him there. He turned towards him, but I think that was clean for me. Right of way with Canada here. What does Giles Scott and Great Britain do? He chooses to cross, but it's going to be a very tight moment here. Right turn for Great Britain, left for Canada, and it's all on.
It is Phil Robertson and Canada that has taken the lead ahead of Emirates GBR, and it's one more turn around gate number 6, and it is the Canadians that lead the Brits with a finish line shortly. Brings it in. The race is not over just yet, but barring disaster, Phil Robertson will be celebrating a big victory. That gives Canada a 4th place finish, a 2nd, and now a 1st. Canada gets the win here in New York. Emirates GBR holds on for 2nd, and France, Content Delapierre in 3rd.
It's going to be Australia in the middle of the line, USA in the middle of the line. Pole predictor sits on Canada. All about timing. Delapierre with 4 seconds to go. Threads the needle one more time. Oh, the French are fast at the gun as well. I love the positioning. Delapierre, oh, he's absolutely nailing it today. Finding a way to weave through the crowd.
Filled in the Americans.
Canada are getting high, Todd.
Little loose, they got to back it down.
Oh, just avoid being last, that's what they said.
Here we go, mark number 1. It is the French controlling it the whole shot. They get in the circle first. Then it is Australia, New Zealand, and the Danes.
France, they maneuver. They're struggling to stay on the foils, but it's the 2 old dogs at the front of the fleet. Slingsby, he needs a result. He's getting a result right now. Certainly at the moment looks like a big gain to New Zealand by going that little bit further offshore over the Australians. Looks like New Zealand are well set. Australia will dip behind and will split the course. So Australia should be sailing back to where the New Zealand crew made a gain. It's a real tussle between these 2 titans. There you go, it worked out well for Australia there, Emily.
Up the course, pressure looks on the right.
As they come towards the finish line, it is Australia and Tom Slingsby that get the win in race number 4 here in New York City. Peter Burling close behind will finish in 2nd, and the France Content Delapierre will get 3rd, but it will not be enough to push them into the event final. All the fleet races are complete. It is Canada, New Zealand, and Emirates GBR, the top 3 teams with 33, 30, and 29 points respectively.
Here we go, 10 seconds to go. New Zealand show us the favourites. Can they execute from here? It's all about timing now. Line's going to turn white. How's your timing, Phil Robertson? Beautiful from the Canadians, but they put the bow in. How costly will that slowdown be? On the inside, it's New Zealand. Tactically, they have the right of way, but Canada and Great Britain, can they wind it up? Can they get enough speed to roll over? I think New Zealand are going to lead at Mark 1. Oh, look at that. New Zealand had the right of way, and they forced the Canadians and the British high and wide here. New Zealand are going to be comfortably in the lead. First manoeuvre for Canada. Can New Zealand stick this manoeuvre? Pressure on. Great move by Canada. New Zealand match perfectly executed, and right now, big advantage to New Zealand. They hold the trump card.
And the Brits have to make one more maneuver, so they decide to split the course. But Stevie, it's going to cost them a lot of time and distance because they were late to make that decision, waiting to see what Burling and Robertson were going to do.
Setting up.
So still Great Britain are out of phase. They're in the race, Todd, but New Zealand are going to be keeping a tight eye on Canada.
Get a breeze play. Copy.
Oh, it's like it's on rails.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Down.
Mark number 6, and it is the Kiwis. That is an amazing performance. That's 5 wins out of 12 events. The Kiwis take the win in New York City.
But if I take you back to last year, you know, your wing collapsed, you missed an event. Would you expect that you're in this position going into the grand final?
Yeah, I knew we had a long road ahead of us to be top of the leaderboard going to the grand final. Missing an event, not only the points side of things, but just the lack of training time, which this group's done less training time than anyone else in the whole league this season. So yeah, it's been a tough season, but you know, to just charge through that and get these wins on the board, something we're super proud of.
They have won 5 of 12 events, and they get 10 more points as they win in New York City. Canada finishing in second, Emirates GBR in third. Australia just missing out, but 12 events down, 1 to go, and look at that lead. That is New Zealand on 93 points. Australia now moves into second place. Does Spanish stay there? They have 5-point lead over France, Canada, Rockwell, Denmark. So all attention is turned out to the West Coast and the big showdown in San Fran.